Our second thing today, COVID cases continue to rise in China. Beijing warned over the weekend that the virus has been spreading undetected for about a week. Joining us with the latest on the situation in China is Yahoo Finance senior healthcare reporter Anjalee Kemlani. Anjalee.
That's right, Brian. We know that Beijing now is reporting a spike in cases, about 70 since Friday, and that is really concerning, of course, in the capital city. They're trying not to repeat what is going on in Shanghai. We've seen those cases, and now including deaths. Oh, I apologize. That number is 22, and the deaths now really spiking there in Shanghai, and that's a concern because previously it had just been a spike in cases, and despite this lockdown that continues to affect many parts of that large city, which have also been fenced in some parts. We know that Beijing has implemented some testing over the weekend 3 times over the past 4 days, and that is really concerning some of the citizens there. We see food buying in panic as they anticipate that there could still be a lockdown in the same way suddenly that Shanghai experienced. And this is really concerning for multiple reasons, but of course because we know that the virus, and especially this variant, has been so diverse in how it has affected other parts of the world. We definitely need to keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, over here, of course, we know that the cases continue to increase in parts of the country, even as we keep an eye out on what that means for hospitalizations still. Another point just to note, Chinese vaccines are also being blamed a little bit for the infectiousness. There have been some calls for some individuals to stop using or rather to avoid using the Chinese vaccines, just based on the fact that they have just slightly lower efficacy than the mRNA vaccines and other Western vaccines. But right now they are being used in other parts of the world as well. So a concern right there as well. Back to you.
Anjalee, putting aside the effectiveness of the Chinese vaccines, is the strategy that China has taken effective, right? If you compare it, I know you can't sort of zero out everything and do an exact apples to apples comparison, but has it seemed to be more effective than other parts of the world?
Effective to what end? It just, in terms of detecting cases, of course, they're going to be catching more cases than, say, we are over here. If you want to compare the U.S. to China, for example, that is the effective part. But in terms of actually curbing transmission, not so much, because on one hand, you're putting people, in close quarters. On the other hand, we know it's airborne, so there are multiple other factors on why it could transmit and how it transmits compared to what we knew early on. And this variant specifically, more transmissible, more evasive of immunity. So all told, probably not. And you'll probably hear more experts say that this strategy isn't effective to actually curbing transmission if that is the goal.
Anjalee Kemlani, thanks so much.